Yeah, I would say the trend is your friend. Ultimately, there's too many times when I see people trying to fight it. And whether it's, AI stocks going up and them saying it's overbought and that this is all a bubble. And then I see crypto going down and people are like, oh yeah, this is just another bear market bottom that's forming, or maybe this is just a cycle that's just going to go up again in the next few months. I would just say, yeah, like focus on reaction rather than prediction. That's something that I really try to hone in on with my content, is the understanding that like you're not actually really that smart. Like this is something I've had to sort of kill with my ego over the years, is that like really like no one really knows that much. Even the people who you do think know a lot in the markets, maybe you see, you try to see some people as insiders or see some people that, seem like they know what they're doing. Really they don't. And for me, like I've never tried to position myself as someone who necessarily knows more. It's just a matter of like, I think I just have more adaptability and more discipline when it comes to like defining my system rigorously and then sticking to that system over time. And so I think that's the thing that most people need to sort of understand, is that trading is really just a means to an end. And so treat these assets as just a means to whatever you want, like whatever purpose you have with regards to making more money, right? And I think that's something that people need to do more often, because they just kind of get attached too easily. And then you see them on Twitter just like arguing on the internet pointlessly with strangers. And it's like, okay, like, I mean, really the main thing is just to treat these as assets that you're using to your advantage, whether it's going down and you're riding that trend down, or it's going up and you're riding that trend up. And so as much as through the years, I try to do this, where the hard part is with crypto, it's an asset where you kind of have to drink the Kool-Aid a little bit. You kind of have to be like, okay, like I have to get my MetaMask wallet set up, and then I have to, what is going on with Coinbase, and what do I have to send a wire to here, and I have to do this. And it's just so many moving parts to it. And then I have to, set a limit order. And then why am I using a decentralized exchange? Like there's so many parts to it. So you really have to like ingratiate yourself in the community. And so it's hard to leave that. It's hard to be like, okay, like this much time that I've devoted to this asset class is actually like kind of like not useful to me anymore. So I've kind of had to, be able to temper my expectations and be able to move and adapt throughout these asset classes very well over the years. And that started with, like killing the baby. Like I basically just had to short Bitcoin in 2022, and then had to sort of like adapt to like, okay, this is no longer bearish anymore. So trying to adapt in 2023 when we started to make a market structure break out of that downtrend. And then same with, earlier, in 2025 when I was, basically calling the top after the inauguration, things looked pretty bad. And then having to adapt when, later that year, the tariffs came out and things looked pretty good. We actually put in a market structure break above like 80 something K. And I was like, all right, time to buy again. And so there's a lot of like flip-flopping involved in this sort of thing. And that can kind of catch people off guard. But the most important thing is to just stick to your objective principles and try not to deviate from them.